So I'm not sure who checked the thermometer on the way in, but it's awfully cold out there. And what better night to think about the sun than the coldest night of the year? Today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about solar power. Why now? And as we all probably are aware of, over the past 50 or so years, photovoltaic cells have come and gone in popularity. Back in the year 1954, you may remember that, I'm joking, there was a company who came out with the first photovoltaic cell, and that was really driven by the need of the space initiative and wanting to use solar panels on satellites in space. And the first satellite was solar powered, was launched in 1958, I believe, and it lasted for 8 years. Well, there's been ups and downs in this solar panel initiative over the past. Tonight what I would like to do is take a look at some of the forces that have held back the development of the solar power industry, some of the forces that have led to the solar power industry moving forward, and what that means to us, what it means to people like us. What can we do about it? Is there any way that we can profit from the industry as it moves forward or pulls back? So, moving on from the 1950s, there was the next significant event in the history of the solar panels was the Arab oil embargo of 1973. And at that point, the cost of oil shot through the roof. And that caused the government officials to kind of take a closer look at our dependency on foreign fossil fuels and also alternatives to come up with less expensive options for energy. And so they came up with a lot of government rebates, initiatives that help consumers afford these expensive photovoltaic cells. Now, just to take a little step back to explain to you what a photovoltaic cell is, that is a cell that is manufactured that will capture the light's energy and convert it directly into electricity. And so there's different ways that these can be manufactured, and over time, hopefully, they'll become more efficient. But as far as in 1973, the only way that they're really economically feasible is for governments to subsidize the purchase of a solar cell. Now, after the oil embargo kind of came and went, so did the government initiatives for solar for these photovoltaic cells. And so the whole thing kind of just was put on the back burner. But that also marked the period where there was more of a globalization of the industry, because what was primarily a U.S.-based industry with the initiatives suddenly became more of a globalized industry. It moved over to Japan, it moved over to Germany, where those governments decided, well, let's get on board with this initiative and try to make it cost-effective for people here. And it worked very well. In fact, even today, Japan and Germany lead the world in solar panel usage, primarily due to their government initiatives. So what have been some of the inhibitors that have held back solar panel development over the past 50 years? The largest that I can really come up with is just the simple cost, the economics of it, the reliance on these government initiatives to push forward something that really can't compete in price with fossil fuel-based energy supplies such as oil and natural gas. So that's probably the primary. Now, there's other forces that also are contributing to this. Some people feel that, well, what if an asteroid were to hit the Earth and create some kind of a cloud around the Earth that would block out the sun? Well, hopefully we're not 100% reliant on solar energy, if that's the case. That's something I do admit, but you have to think about all your different angles. But, of course, it doesn't take an asteroid to block out the Earth's light. you've got day, you've got night, you've got the seasons where the days are a lot longer than the nights are. And as you move further away from the equator, the angle of the sun is at a larger angle. So, there are some inhibitors. There are forces that are really starting to project the usage or the probability that solar energy is going to be more proliferant in the coming days, in possibly the near future. Silicon Valley, for instance, has been manufacturing solar panel or computers for a long time, and they use a lot of silicon-based products there. And so there's been a pretty strong initiative in Silicon Valley even to research and come up with more effective solar panels. Arnold Schwarzenegger, for instance, Governor Arnold, has an initiative to come up with 1 million houses powered by solar in the coming years. So I think that's a big step in the right direction. One thing I would like you to do is just take a quick look at the flyer, or the page that I passed around to you. Does everybody have that? Did that make it around? But one thing that you will notice that in the year 1997, since that period, there's been a significant uptick in usage of photovoltaic solar-powered cells. And I believe that's just the tip of the iceberg for what is yet to come. There's a market-leading research firm called Clean Edge Incorporated that focuses on clean technologies, and they expect the growth of the solar power industry to increase from 11 billion in 2005 all the way to 51 billion in 2015. That is a pretty significant increase in the industry. I'd like you to take a look at the very bottom chart here, and you'll see that the majority of photovoltaic cells, solar panels that were manufactured in 1997 were the crystalline silicon type panel. And that's a thicker type panel that uses quite a bit of silicon in it. It's pretty intensive with copper. It's fairly expensive. There's a new type of panel that has been gaining quite a bit of popularity in recent years. And in 2006, you see that it accounted for 30% of the market, up from probably less than 5% in 1997. And I just read in December issue that a company out of Silicon Valley has come up with a thin film type solar panel that could potentially be the most efficient solar panel to be manufactured in history. So basically what I would encourage you to do out of all this information that I'm giving you is at least to start paying attention to the solar panel industry. If you're in the right place at the right time, you may be able to make an investment that could definitely pay off and warm up what is otherwise a very cold evening. Mr. Toastmasters.